Imagine this. In the span of just 3 nights, the universe staged a performance so unlikely that even seasoned scientists found themselves whispering the word impossible. A silent stage of stars flared to life in naked-eye explosions. The ground in South America tore open with back-to-back quakes. And high above, the sun hurled a violent storm of plasma directly into the path of one of the rarest visitors ever seen in our skies, an interstellar comet, older than our solar system itself.
Ow.
This was not myth. This was not a story passed down through legend. It happened minute by minute, and it was real enough to shake both Earth and sky. Astronomers now call it the 72-hour stack, a cluster of cosmic and terrestrial shocks that unfolded in September, and forced researchers to question whether chance alone was enough to explain it, because on paper, none of this should have happened together. The odds fall so low, below fractions of a percent, that to witness it in a single window of time feels like nature bent its own rules. And yet it unfolded right before us. The first sign came just after midnight, under the dark and quiet skies of Chile. An astronomer named Gabriela Moya sat in front of her screen, bleary-eyed from lack of sleep, waiting for a signal that may or may not come. Rumors had already spread online hints of a possible nova. But rumors are fragile things, and Gabriela was not ready to trust whispers. So she stared into the stream of data coming in from a remote telescope, her heartbeat quickening every time the signal spiked. And then not to 12 a.m., UTC her screen lit up with something unmistakable. The faint star Phi 1935 Centauri had erupted, flaring to a brightness so intense that under clear skies, it could now be spotted without a telescope. A dying white dwarf star had stolen enough hydrogen from its companion to trigger runaway nuclear fire. In a matter of hours, its brilliance surged 100,000-fold. By the time dawn broke in Europe, news had already outrun the sunrise. Backyard stargazers scrambled outside in pajamas, pointing at a star that had not been visible the night before. But if the first act felt improbable, the second would push coincidence to its breaking point. Because less than 48 hours later, on the opposite side of the sky, another star ignited, this one V7994, Sagittarius erupted with the same sudden fury, blazing just bright enough to graze the limits of naked-eye vision, to novas back-to-back within 36 hours. Astronomers who had dedicated entire careers to waiting for just one nova found themselves staring at 2, caught in a sequence no living researcher had ever seen. And while the skies burned with unexpected brilliance, the Earth itself began to shake. On September 24th, the ground near Men Grande, Venezuela convulsed. At 10:21 p.m. local time, a magnitude 6.2 earthquake ripped through the region, shallow enough that its waves slammed into homes with devastating intensity. Families leaped from dinner tables into the streets. Emergency alerts buzzed across phones as buildings swayed. But the night was far from over. Barely 5 hours later, a second earthquake struck. This time a magnitude 6.3, deeper beneath the crust, yet violent enough to shatter glass and topple already weakened structures. Nurses carried patients into parking lots under flickering lights. WhatsApp groups and radio stations became lifelines, spreading second-by-second updates of fear and survival. And as aftershocks rattled the ground, astronomers on the other side of the planet were logging yet another nova. Above it all, the sun had grown restless. Its surface boiled with magnetic tension. When it finally erupted, it unleashed a coronal mass ejectionist storm of charged particles powerful enough to fry satellites, disrupt radio, and black out power grids. But this time, something else stood in its path. Because barreling into our solar system at 60 kilometers per second was an object rarer than almost anything we've ever seen. An interstellar comet, a wanderer born under another star, carrying material older than Earth itself. And the sun's blast was aimed directly at it. To put this in perspective, humanity has cataloged millions of comets, but only just three are confirmed to have come from beyond our solar system. And now, one of those impossibly rare visitors had become the accidental target of a solar storm. Layer these events together to novas in 2 days, twin Venezuelan quakes in 1 night, and a solar eruption striking an interstellar traveland, the odds collapse to something beyond calculation. Statisticians call it poison clustering, the way randomness sometimes piles into improbable bursts. But even hardened number crunchers admitted this stack felt like more than mathematics. The story becomes more gripping when you line it up minute by minute. The nova in Chile's pre-dawn hours. The Venezuelan quakes jolting people awake. Second nova erupting just as relief crews dug through rubble. And the solar storm barreling into alien ice as all of it unfolded above. 72 hours when the improbable didn't just happen, it collided. And here's the question that lingers like an echo. Was this just coincidence? Or was it a glimpse into some deeper cosmic rhythm, one we have yet to understand? As the world reeled from the first shocks, researchers dug deeper, piecing together fragments of data, each more unsettling than the last. For Gabriela Moya, the nova discovery had already pushed her into the center of an international storm of attention. Her alert set off a chain reaction. Automated telescopes across the southern hemisphere confirmed the eruption. Satellites captured high-energy gamma flashes, and within hours, scientific networks were ablaze. But even as she fielded messages and interviews, whispers spread among her peers. If one nova could erupt so suddenly, and another followed less than 2 days later, what were the chances a third might appear? It was superstition to some, but for astronomers sleepless in their observatories, the air felt charged with something uncanny. Meanwhile, far from telescope domes and observatory screens, Venezuela trembled in darkness. In Men Grande, the hospital courtyard had transformed into a makeshift triage zone. Senior nurse Maricela Rivas stood at the center, her voice steady through chaos as she coordinated supplies, assigned volunteers, and comforted the terrified. Her phone never stopped, buzzing WhatsApp groups filled with cries for help, missing relatives, urgent requests for water and blankets. Every aftershock kept the tension alive, rattling the walls, shaking the ground, reminding everyone that the earth itself was restless. And then came the twist no one saw coming. As Maricela directed patients under tarps outside, far above her head, the star V7994 Sagittari erupted into brilliance. Another nova timed almost cruelly to coincide with the second quake. Two completely different cosmic events, unrelated by physics, yet aligned in time so tightly it felt scripted. News of the second nova struck the astronomy world like a lightning bolt. In forums, emails, and late-night Zoom calls, astronomers debated in disbelief. How could two novas, each already a once-in-years phenomenon, erupt within the same 48 hours? It was the kind of alignment that even veteran scientists described not as coincidence, but as a statistical ghost. A pattern that shouldn't exist, and yet it did. Above this chaos, the sun continued its slow build toward fury.